Hi, this is Roz Fehr. I'm the communications lead for the 2022 Sisters Going the Distance Conference, which will be on September 24th this year. We're so excited to have Dr. Negleatha Johnson with us. She is the co-founder of the Waters Ministry, which is hosting the conference. Dr. Johnson, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and the ministry?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as always, Roz, it's always good to see you and get to talk with you. We are very excited about our 2022 event. This is our second year. We are looking forward to all of the wonderful things, the known and the unknown things that we know will be in store. We started Waters Ministries actually in June of 1996. So it is 26 years old this month. And we started actually as a music ministry. The focus was music, was all things music. And as time went forward, God really just started to lead us in additional directions. I laugh sometimes and say that he started with something that was familiar to us to rope us in. And then he started pointing us in additional directions. So we started doing conferences and the preached word, workshops, and all of those wonderful things. And then shortly after we started, though, maybe 4 years, I believe, we started doing a women's trip to New York. It actually started out as a co-ed trip. It was just a one-day trip for, whoever wanted to join us, go to New York, hang out a little bit, come back. And that was to be the beginning and the end of it. But then the following year, it was the start of this trip to the Big Apple that had a women's focus. So we had devotionals on the trip and music and food, and we would stop along the way. And so let's see, 2019 actually would have been our 15th year of that trip. And in 2020, due to COVID, we were unable to make that trip, obviously. And so we weren't really sure what we needed to do. We just, kind of prayed and asked God to, show us the direction that we needed to go in. And sure enough, in 2021, January, February, we thought about, through the goodness of God, just kind of making the bus trip, the in-person bus trip, into this virtual experience. We didn't want to lose contact with the women who had been with us for all of those years. We wanted to know how they were doing, and just for us to reconvene. So we started Sisters Going the Distance in 2021. Our virtual event. So it's the virtual component now of the in-person bus trip. We had women last year from Italy, and almost, I think, I don't know, at least 23, 24, I think, of the states,
Yes,
of the 50 states. And we had a wonderful time. Wonderful speakers last year, as you know, wonderful people that we knew, many that we didn't know. I believe it was the time that we all needed. So looking forward to it again this year.
It really was even though it was, being virtual, I think we've all kind of gotten used to doing that. But the connections that people made in the chat room and, afterwards, it was really a very powerful event, and I'm looking forward to this year. Could you talk a little bit about choosing the theme this year, which is Your Mental Health Matters?
Your mental health matters. I believe, I am convinced that one of the things that COVID did for us, one of the good things that it did for us, was that I think it helped us all to take our mental health a little more seriously. Because many of us were not used to just kind of being in and not really going out and not really being able to go visit people the way we wanted to. And for many people, it impacted our mental health. There were many people who either were already dealing with depression, who had an even deeper experience, or there were others who began to have issues with depression as a result. Or anxiety or other kinds of mental health concerns. And so, and just knowing that think I can safely say, as a people, as African Americans, many times we just have not really dealt with mental health in the way that we probably should have for various reasons. As people in the body of Christ, as Christians, many times we have felt, I believe, that this is something that you just don't deal with it. And I just don't believe that. I believe that, God wants us whole body, mind, and spirit. And so we are helping people this year, we hoped, helping others as well as ourselves to really unlock the door to the mystery of mental health and unlocking the door to the shame, the embarrassment of it, and to put it out there. It's hard, Roz, to deal with things that we won't face. That's kind of my thing. You cannot deal with it if you won't face it. So,
That's true.
so that's where this thing has come from for this year.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be very powerful. The speakers I've been talking to are women who have such a heart for this work. I mean, they're very
Absolutely.
they're very practiced, they're very, very experienced. They have seen, I doubt there's anything they have not seen in their patients, and
Absolutely.
they're just real, I just think their speakers, people are going to get a lot out of the conversations that they have. And we're also supporting a charity through the conference this year. Could you talk a little bit about that, about the group and why they were chosen?
Absolutely. Last year, one of the things we used to do on our bus trip, each year we would pick a nonprofit in the area of Northern Virginia to support. We've given to Women Giving Back and to other nonprofits. Another church one year needed some backpacks for the work that they were doing. So the women on the bus trip would bring backpacks. We've partnered with Alpha Street Baptist Church with their women's ministry, who was trying to gather women's products, feminine products for young girls in Liberia. So that year of the bus trip, we all brought feminine products and presented them to Alpha Street Baptist Church women's ministry. And the list goes on. And so we wanted to carry that over into the virtual experience. So last year, we looked, we looked to see, who is it that we can support. So last year we supported Calvary Women's Services out of DC, who works with homeless women. We look for nonprofits that might be kind of an extension of some of the things that we do as Waters Ministries, which is, obviously also a nonprofit, 501c3 public charity. And so one of our target areas is special initiatives, and under that category is women and children and those with sarcoma cancer and in the military. So, the Calvary Women's Services dealt with women who are homeless. So we were like, this is our place. So we, although this event is free, so let me just say that this is a free virtual event. Absolutely. But we encourage women to make a contribution so that we can take the bulk of those dollars and present them to the nonprofit that we were supporting. This year, we're doing the Shades in Blue project, the Shades in Blue project, which is based out of Texas, but they serve women in various states in the United States, to include Maryland, DC. So the Shades in Blue project deals with maternal mental health. It deals with mental health as it pertains to, women who are pregnant, when they're pregnant, during delivery, postpartum, all of those things. The founder of this nonprofit, Kay, had a stillbirth and went through many issues as a result of that. I can relate to that because I did too. And it is a full-term baby. Nothing was wrong with the baby. Nothing was wrong with me. It was our first baby. We were excited about the possibility of being parents, and to push the baby out and then to hear the doctor say, I never will forget. And that was in 1984, actually. Hear the doctor say, Mrs. Johnson, we see hair. And so we get excited. And then the next thing we know, things started, just going
Yeah.
downhill, and they
Yeah.
could not resuscitate the baby. After the autopsy was done, nothing was wrong.
Um,
To say that messes with your mental health is an understatement.
oh,
So
yeah.
Kay, the founder of the Shades of Blue project, had a similar experience, and so as a result of that, her efforts, I think this nonprofit was founded in 2013. Her efforts are focused on women and maternal health, as it pertains to mental health. So we are extremely, extremely excited about this connection. How many times have we as women given birth, felt, a little out of sorts after the delivery, and people say, "Oh, but you'll be okay. It's just a little this,
Yeah.
a little that."
Yeah.
When sometimes it's a little bit more, or much more than a little this or a little
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
But as women, as in many things that pertain to women, we have had to just, put it under the rug, put it on the
Right.
rug, buck up, suck it up, and move forward.
Mhm.
So, one of the many things that's so great, I believe, about this conference this year, this event this year, and our theme is that, as I said earlier, we get to take that key and unlock so many of the things that we as women have had to deal with as it pertains
Right.
to mental health.
Right.
So
Yes.
that's how we came about the nonprofit that we are supporting this year.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful group.
Mhm.
Thank you for doing that. I think that there's so many women who've had, I know I had two miscarriages myself, and there's so many women that if you haven't been through something like that, if you know, and God bless all the women that have had, normal, uneventful pregnancies, you just assume when you're pregnant, if you're excited about having a baby, that you're going to have a baby at the end of it. So it's
Absolutely.
really, I think, reaching out. It is a sisterhood that's bigger than I think a lot of people realize. So
Absolutely.
that's really, really special to be able to do
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we
Yeah.
are, I literally am overjoyed about September 24th, about this theme, the
Hmm.
presenters, the community partner, the Shades and Blue Project, and
Hmm.
all of what we're going to learn as a result of this event. Let me just also add is that in addition to the presenters, we're going to
Right.
also have some nuggets. Right now, we're calling them nuggets. We may change it later, but
Hmm. Yeah.
nutritional nuggets in terms of
Hmm.
how does nutrition impact our mental health? You know,
Hmm.
sometimes we forget that there can be a tie between nutrition and mental health. So we'll have those kinds of things. We'll talk about exercise and how exercise can impact us in a positive way in terms of
Hmm.
mental health. So we are working hard, as you know, because you're working with us, to make this well worth that 10 o'clock to 1:30 time that the ladies will be donating and sharing with us on that day.
Yes, I agree with you. Oh, and there's one other component. I believe we're doing devotionals
Absolutely,
that will
absolutely.
be made, yeah, they'll be sent to people.
Yep, they absolutely will. So last year, this year, as in last year, we have a group, our prayer group facilitators, who start pretty much early on praying for, the event.
Mm,
September 17th, we have our day of prayer. At I think it's 7:10
mm,
and noon, 7 o'clock
yeah.
a.m., 10 o'clock a.m., and noon. That's virtual, obviously, and we send out the information, the login information for that. But prior to that, we invite the women who are our prayer group facilitators and others this year. We've extended that opportunity to some other women as well to write
Mhm,
devotionals that will encourage the women as they prepare, in this case for September 24th. So last
right.
year we sent out a devotional, each day for 14 days leading up to the event. This year, we are taking those 14 devotionals, putting them in a booklet, thanks to your
Mhm,
help. And we're going to
mhm.
send that booklet out on one day, I think September 9th, 8th or 9th, with day
Yes.
one being September 10th. And so, you know, each the ladies can just look at the devotionals at their leisure versus going to their computer each day, getting one today. They'll have all of those 14 devotionals at one time. So we are very excited about that. And very excited about the women who are writing these devotionals. These are not women who will be speaking from an academic perspective, even though they could. They'll be speaking from places in their heart. There's one lady, Reverend Dr. Alice Williams Royal, who is actually from my hometown, from Kinston, North Carolina, whose son was murdered, I think about 2 years ago. And so, you know, she'll be speaking from a real place. We have other women who will speak from their experience and how their challenge impacted their mental health. So we are very excited. Add to that, Roz, you'll be writing as well. And as always, you're such a wonderful writer. Absolutely, absolutely. You are an amazing writer. So
God gives you the words. God gives me the words. So I can't take complete credit for that, but thank you.
Let me tell you, but you are a willing vessel. You are the willing vessel. So we thank God for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we are excited about those devotionals. So we're trying our best to make it a holistic experience, even before the women log in on September 24th, that they already would have been poured into. So we're excited.
Yeah. Yes, we're very, very excited. Well, was there anything else we didn't cover? Anything else you'd like to discuss? If people haven't registered yet, you should go to the Life Waters Ministry website and register.
Yes, registration it just started last Friday. We are only going to register 100 women this year. I think a third of that number has already been taken up. People have started to register, so we thank God for that. The goal of keeping it small is so that we can manage it better. We can make it where it's more intimate. We want the registrants to be able to ask questions. We want it to feel like it's in person, even though it is virtual. And we feel like we can do a better job of that by keeping it at a level that we can handle in terms of numbers. So we encourage women to please go to the website, which is www.lwministriesonline.org, to register, to bring a friend. Like anything that's good, you shouldn't do it by yourself. So invite a friend to come with you. I also ask that when you go to the website, just look at the things that we're doing. We have some exciting things that are going on. Next July is Sarcoma Awareness Month. And so we are doing many things as it pertains to sarcoma. One of the women who will be writing the devotional, one of the devotionals, is having experiences actually with sarcoma cancer. And so we have some really heartfelt, really wonderful things that we're doing. And we invite others to support, either with their time, their prayers, their finances. We need your help. That is for sure. So I think that's all I got right now, Roz.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I know God will continue helping us connect all these dots so we can give everyone a great experience. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you on September 24th.
Absolutely. Bye. Thank you, Roz.
Thank you.